Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Family Reunion Love and Hip Hop Edition Season 3 Episode 4. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Let's just get right into this review because a lot of stuff went down in this episode. So, as you know, in last week's episode, there was a lot of drama that took place and a lot of physical altercations that went down. Spice got into a physical altercation with Shay. Carly ended up getting into a physical altercation with Tokyo Vanity. And then she ended up getting into another physical altercation with Mariah Lynn. And so it was a hot mess in the previous episode. And so, because of all that drama going down, Tokyo Vanity ended up having to go home. Production wanted her to leave because she got physical with Carly. And she's the one who started all the physical altercations. Now, I felt like it would have been fair to get rid of Carly as well because Carly was the one who started the trouble with Tokyo Vanity, and she's the one who started the trouble with Mariah Lynn as well. And so I feel like if Carly didn't come at, Tokyo Vanity the way that she did when Tokyo arrived in Jamaica, I feel like it would have changed the whole course of what happened in the previous episode. And so I honestly feel like Carly should have been sent home as well, especially because she's the one who got physical with Mariah Lynn first as well. Mariah Lynn ended up having like 3 fingernails missing off her hand, and she had a scratch on her face according to Alexis Sky. And so I felt like Carly should have been sent home as well. But the only person that got sent home was Tokyo Vanity, who was visibly upset that she had to leave the show. So because of all the drama that took place in the previous episode, Lyrica decided that it would be a good idea to do an open mic night for everybody to open up to each other and feel comfortable because of the fact that they all have to be close together on this reunion trip. And, Spice was the first one to get on the mic and start opening up. And honestly, I felt like she was being manipulative when she got on the mic because before she apologized to Shay about her actions in the previous episode, she started crying and talking about how she was bullied as a child and told that she was never going to make it in life. And honestly, I feel like her telling that sob story, although I have sympathy for the fact that she is talking about the struggles that she went through in her life, I felt like her telling that story and crying before she apologized to Shay was her trying to get sympathy points so that people can say that that's the reason why she acted out is because she has childhood trauma. And I just don't feel like you should use your childhood as an excuse to be a bad person or to do negative things as an adult. I'm not saying that Spice is a bad person, but I definitely feel like she did too much in the previous episode. Now, Shay seemed to be accepting of Spice's apology, and I would accept Spice's apology if I was Shay, but I would never be cool with Shay again. Like, I could be in the same room as her, but I don't think I would ever be her friend or try to be cool with her on that type of level. So when MJ ended up taking the stage to talk, I was kind of nervous because I feel like his presence being there is what caused some of the awkwardness in the previous episode, and is part of the reason why all the fights went down because Amara had went to Spice and said that she was uncomfortable with MJ and Shay being on the trip. And so when he got on the mic, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what he was going to say, but a lot of what he talked about was his relationship with Amara, and he apologized for his part and why things didn't end up working out, and he also let her know that he still loves her. And honestly, I don't feel like Amara really cares what MJ has to say. I feel like she wants him to just leave her alone and stop trying to be around her. And I feel like he keeps pushing to keep the doors open for that relationship to come back. And I feel like honestly he should close it because I just don't feel like they're good for each other. And the fact that she had a child by somebody that he was friends with, she didn't have the babies by this man while she was with MJ, but she was introduced to this man from MJ allegedly. And so I just feel like he should just let that shit go. I just really don't feel like it'll ever work out between the two of them. I can understand loving somebody, but I felt like him going on the mic and doing that was doing too much. I honestly feel like him and Amara should have a conversation one-on-one away from everybody else so that they could establish some boundaries and kind of clear things up with one another. I don't think that anything they do when it comes to each other should be done in front of everybody else, but I do think that it was good that he was able to be peaceful with her while he was on stage. I do think that it was a good idea for them to do this open mic night after all the fighting took place in the previous episode, because everybody got a chance to get on stage and open up and let people get to know them and let people see, the things that they went through in the past that may be the reason for the way that they are today. And so Alexis Sky ended up getting on stage and she seemed to be really nervous to go up there and talk, but she talked about how she came from a really good family, but she wanted to do what she wanted to do. And so she went to the streets. She said that she started stripping, and then she stated that she was kidnapped and sex trafficked, and she got really emotional, and so she needed to get off the stage because she just felt like it was too much for her to talk about. And I felt a lot of sympathy for her, and I think that it's brave to come out and talk about that on national television. But I know that some people feel like she's not being truthful about her story, because I remember in the past when she talked about it on Love and Hip Hop, or I think she talked about it in some interview, people said that she wasn't being truthful. I don't know if she's being truthful or not. I would hope that she wouldn't lie about something like that. And so I'm not going to say that she's lying about what she's saying that she's been through. Now, Estelita ended up getting on stage and she started talking about some of the things that she's went through as well. And her story was kind of similar to what Alexis Sky was saying. And she got a lot of sympathy and support from all the other women that were on the trip. And I think that it was a good idea for them to do this open mic night for everybody to embrace each other and really get to know each other a bit more. But I don't think that the little kumbaya that they're doing in this episode is going to last, because at the end of the day, a lot of these people still have issues with each other. And when alcohol and partying is involved and you're all squished up in the same space, there's bound to be some drama that ends up taking place. And there is definitely going to be at some point, because, Spice did go to Mariah Lynn and tell her that Carly said that she will apologize to her for putting her hands on her because she thought that Mariah Lynn was trying to fight her instead of trying to break up the fight between her and Tokyo Vanity. And so I don't believe for one second that Carly thought that Mariah Lynn was trying to fight her. But at the same time, if Mariah Lynn is willing to accept Carly's apology, then I think that she should, because honestly, the beef between Mariah Lynn and Carly is so stupid. Like, I don't understand why Carly was so upset because Mariah Lynn called her messy when literally everybody thinks she's messy. I mean, Spice told her she was messy in the previous season of Love and Hip Hop, and so I just don't understand why she's acting like it's such a big deal now that Mariah Lynn said it. And apparently Mariah Lynn said this comment about her years ago, so I just don't understand why Carly's bringing it up now. Alexis Sky has been getting pretty cozy with Scrap on this trip, and although I feel like they do have some chemistry, I feel like after Alexis stated during this open mic night that she struggles with relationship with men and that she doesn't know what love is because of a lot of things that she's dealt with them in the past, I feel like she has a lot of work to do on herself before she jumps into something with somebody else. I'm not saying that the two of them want to be serious with each other, because I know they probably just want to hook up, and maybe this is setting up some type of storyline for, the next season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and that would make for a pretty interesting storyline. But I really do think that Alexis needs to do some work on herself before she jumps into another situation with another guy. Spice ends up taking Carly and Estelita with her to Kingston to give back to the community. She wanted to give them some money. She raised about $5 million, and she wanted to give vouchers to everybody there in order to make sure that they can provide for themselves and their children. And I think that that's a really great idea, and I think it's good that she wants to give back to her community. But when Carly was on this bus with Spice and Estelita to go to Kingston, she was talking about how she regrets not going to the open mic night because she had so much to say. And then she talks about how she's been bullied her whole life. And honestly, I feel like, maybe she was bullied as a child, but as an adult, I feel like Carly is kind of a bully. I mean, she was sitting there laughing and thought it was funny when, Kendra was going through that situation with Jock, with all the rumors about him cheating on her going around. And so I honestly feel like, Carly is a bully. Carly does a lot of things to other people, and she's messy, and she causes a lot of drama. And so I don't understand why she's trying to put herself in the victim position. Now, I'm not saying that she's never a victim in any situation, but a lot of the times Carly's a perpetrator, and she starts a lot of trouble, and she knows that she's messy. And so I just don't understand why she's trying so hard to play this role like she's somebody who's constantly being bullied. I mean, maybe on social media she's bullied because, people have, talked about the plastic surgery that she's allegedly had. And so I know that, people on social media could be really mean, but from what I see on the show when I watch it, she's the one starting a lot of the trouble with other people. Once Spice, Carly, and Estelita arrive to Kingston, things kind of get a bit crazy there because a lot of people, they need help. And so they're trying to push their way to the front to get an envelope. And Spice does try to calm the situation down, but it didn't seem like it was calming down at all. And so she was really disappointed because, security at this point is telling Spice, Estelita, and Carly that they need to leave the event because, things are getting too crazy. And so I don't know if they ended up leaving and if everybody ended up getting those envelopes for the vouchers. Hopefully everybody was able to get an envelope, but we'll have to see that in the next episode because, they didn't put that in the remaining minutes that led up to the end of this episode. At the very end of this episode, everybody is playing soccer because Scrap decided that that was the event that he wanted to set up for everybody to do on the trip. And everybody seemed to be having a good time, although they are not really good at soccer at all. It was a hot mess. But Chrissy did not want to participate in the soccer game because she felt uncomfortable with the fact that Mariah Lynn ended up inviting Nancy, who is basically her mother-in-law, on this trip. And Nancy and Chrissy do not get along. They have a history of not getting along because Chrissy feels like Nancy tries to control her relationship and she butts in a bit too much when it comes to her and Jim. And so I honestly feel like it wasn't a good idea for Mariah Lynn to invite Nancy on this trip. And Nancy even said when she first got there that she was upset at the fact that Chrissy didn't invite her, but Mariah Lynn did. And so, Chrissy and a few other people are kind of annoyed at Mariah Lynn at this point because she's inviting a lot of people on the trip without asking if it's okay because, she is the one who invited Shay and MJ on the trip, and it caused a lot of drama, and people kind of gave her a pass on that because she stated that she didn't know that there was drama between Shay and Amara. But now she invited Nancy on the trip, and you know that Nancy and Chrissy don't really get along like that. Everybody knows that. So if she says that she didn't know that there was an issue between Chrissy and Nancy, she would be lying, and it's coming off like she's being just as messy as she accused Carly of being. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Family Reunion Love and Hip Hop Edition. Don't forget to let me know what you thought about this episode down in the comments section. And also don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.